up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? Your buddy Big Johnny G from Two Gun Pixie Presents Legendary Gaming is back again! Alright, and this time I have a review for you guys. I got a review for a game that's going to be hitting Kickstarter next Saturday, July 8th. July 8th, 2017 is going to be hitting Kickstarter. It's a card game. It's a game for 2 players, 3 players, or 4 players. It's a game for ages 12 and up, and it should take anywhere from 20 minutes to 60 minutes, depending on how many players you have. And that game hitting Kickstarter is Bushido Breaker. This is a game of hidden movement, it's a game of deduction, and it's a game of calculated risk. So why don't we talk about the game for a minute, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Alright, welcome back. So what I have set up here is for a 2-player game, and in this in a 2-player game, someone is going to be playing the samurais, and someone is going to be playing the ninja. That's what we have set up here. Let's get these aside. Now, first of all, I just want to let you guys know that what I have here for this Kickstarter preview is a PNP. It's a print and play version of the game. This is not the final version of the game, what you're going to get from your Kickstarter. But this is just an overview of how the game is played, what I think of the game. So you know what? This PNP is good enough to do that job. All right, so this is the basic setup for the 2-player game. Now, after you play a bunch of games, you're going to be able to, build your own setups and everything, I imagine. That seems like the next logical choice. But just starting the game, here is the 2-player setup where you're going to have 2 entrances. There's always 2 entrances in this game. The first room, and then leading up to the next 2 rooms, which then eventually lead up to the Shogun's chambers himself. And once a ninja makes it up to this room, the Shogun is dead. The ninja has won. The ninja also wins if the ninja kills all of the samurai. The ninja gets a win for that, for the game, because then there's nothing to stop him from going up and killing the samurai. So these are the placements of the samurai. There's one in each area, in each entrance, in each room, hallway, except for the Shogun's place. So now, the game has set up, it tells you which cards to use in a setup like this for your first player game. It'll tell you which cards to take out if you're going to be the samurai. And it gives you a list of which cards to take out and use if you're going to be running the ninja. Now again, this game seems like it's going to be really moddable. It really seems like the kind of game that you're going to be able to design your own stuff and come up with your own sort of house rules for, what cards each character gets, or if it's completely randomized. So that's right off the top, that's something that I think is really kind of cool. So both players are going to have their deck of cards, and the ninja is going to place a card out first. The ninja is going to place a card, he's going to think very carefully about it, and he's going to place a card out, and no one's going to know what that is. Now, the Kickstarter version of the game comes with a notepad. This did not, so we used my own notepad, and you're going to keep track. You're going to keep track of where everything is, where you start. So secretly, the ninja will write down if he was in entrance 1, or if he was over here in entrance 2. So he would just write down, let's say, entrance 1, whatever the card was that he took, sabotage alarms, right? I'm trying to write upside down. He's going to write that down in secret, where he is and what he's doing in that room. So the samurai player is going to lay out cards for each of the samurais that he's going to be doing something with. Such as, there's going to be check exits. Well, a couple of these guys to check exit. Search area. Uses bow. Uses katana. That's 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then at this point, he's going to say which samurai is doing which action. So he'll say that this one is using the yumai, which can be used in an adjacent location right here. And the ninja will tell him if anything has happened or not. And if something, because each of the cards, I should have said that up front, I'm sorry. Each of the cards are actually designed to have something that they're able to accomplish and a card that they're going to be able to stop from accomplishing something. So really this is a give and take game. This is a sort of take that game, blindly speaking to a degree. So every card can counter every other card. So you're just blindly hoping that you think that the ninja may be using his shuriken attack. So you're going to want to play that to make sure you can counter the shuriken attack. And that's the way the game is actually going to be played. That's it, round around. Really, this is just a quick overview of the game for you guys before I get into the review of it, so that you know what's going on. But really, that's going to be it from turn to turn. The ninja's going to keep writing down where he is, what he does. The card's going to be secret. The samurai is going to say what he's doing in each room, and if it stops the ninja or counters the ninja, then the ninja's card, he has 2 of these, because if he gets noticed twice, the ninja loses. So whenever an attack gets countered or he gets spotted, he's gonna be one step closer to losing the game. All right, so like I said, that was just a really quick overview of the game. Let's talk about it for a moment. All right, so Bushido Breaker, I found it to be a really, really tough game. It wasn't very easy to win in this game, I found, as the samurai. But I'm not saying that as a negative point at all, because any good game, part of that being good, part of that being fun, is by going into the game and finding what the hardest thing is to do, and then being able to do it. And in this case, I think the hardest thing to be able to do is to be the samurai and to actually win at the game. This is a great game of deduction and hidden movement. This game I thought to feel like a big box game in a deck of cards is definitely the feel I got from this game. I wrote something like that in the written review for it, but just speaking off the top of my head, that still holds true. Definitely feels like a much bigger box game of hidden movement. I like the way the cards all counter each other. That's very cool. Such as the samurai's katana will counter the kunai blade attack if that's what the ninja is doing. And the fact that you don't know. Now, another thing which I didn't point out in the rules is that only some of the cards you can continue using. They go back into your hand, but other cards are one time only. And, that really takes the strategy level of this game and amps it up a little bit, because some of your best cards for countering attacks or trying to do something to make sure that the ninja gets spotted, or in reverse, the ninja trying to kill off the samurai, they get taken away from you the more you use them. So that was a very interesting strategy point of the game. I like that. While other cards, such as check exit, you're going to be able to do from turn to turn to turn to turn. So by limiting what you're able to do, making these, like they're called in the game, they're called specials. And that's exactly how they feel because of that limiting factor of them. And I thought it brought a little bit more of an excitement to the game. I think that the replayability in this game is really high, and I think the fun level was definitely there. It's the kind of game where it's fun because in the wrong hands, this game could definitely start some fights. But then again, any hidden movement game kind of is at that tipping point anyway to begin with. But again, that goes into what I said. It feels like a big box game and a deck of cards. And you're going to get that experience with this game. It plays quickly enough. I don't think we had a game that lasted more than 30 minutes, actually, and that's when we got to, not talking about once we got to know the rules, and things started going a lot faster. I liked it best as a 2-player game. I think it's a little bit tougher that way, and that's why I like it more. Not saying that the 4-player mode was definitely easy, because it wasn't. And I haven't tried the 3-player mode. In all honesty, I haven't had a chance to play the 3-player mode, and that is 1 ninja versus 2 samurai players. So that sounds a little bit harder on the ninja, but the way the rule mechanics work and everything, I'm not sure if it really is a disadvantage for him or not, him or her playing that ninja character is going to be. I don't know how big of a disadvantage, because the way this is structured and everything just kind of stays the same. It's just the time that is going to increase or decrease with the number of players. Everything else is going to ride smoothly the same exact way. Smoothly is a good way to talk about it, because once you know the rules, That's it. It goes really smooth and it goes really fast. So I think this is a fun game. Pick it up, carry it around with you. You can bring it places. It plays fast enough. This is the kind of game you can use as a gateway game, I think, to a degree. It's not the best example of a gateway game, but I think if you get the right people around, you can definitely turn them on to this game. So for Two Gun Pixie, I'm Big Johnny G. This is our review for Bushido Breaker. This is going to be hitting Kickstarter next Saturday and July the 8th. So definitely going to want to go check this out, see everything you're going to get with this, check out what the stretch goals are going to be. I don't know if they're doing any add-ons or not. Zach White, who's the creator of the game and also the artist of the game, we have to see what he's going to have in store for us. So I'm your buddy, Big Johnny G from Two Gun Pixie Presents, and I am out of here.